Hello everybody, my name is Dan Flatley, and I'll be your host for this episode of St. Anselm College Broadcasting Station's weekly news update. In this episode, we will cover Hawk athletics and politics from the Granite State and the national scene. The St. Anselm Crier's editor-in-chief, Cody Jones, will be covering sports, and I'll be your political analyst for this episode. Before we start, a quick reminder that it is Benedictine Heritage Week on campus. Be sure to check out the many events highlighting the St. John's Bible throughout the week and others celebrating the great history of the Benedictine order. Now first we go to Cody Jones with sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Cody Jones, Editor-in-Chief of the St. Anselm Crier with this week's Hawk Sports Report. Women's lacrosse is off to a .500 start this season. They lost to Stonehill, who are ranked 20th in all of the NCAA Division II, 8-6 on March 16th. Junior Emma Palumbo led St. Anselm with 3 goals in the contest. The Hawks returned to action on March 18th when they hosted and defeated American International 10-7. Junior Erica Matilla and freshman Britta Holland each netted 2 goals apiece in the game for St. Anselm. With a 3-3 record, St. Anselm will return to the field on March 21st against Southern New Hampshire and again on March 25th at Franklin Pierce. Men's lacrosse is off to a 2-1 start this season. They were scheduled to host Adelphi on March 15th, however the game was postponed due to last week's winter storm. St. Anselm returned to the field on March 17th and kicked off St. Patrick's Day weekend by defeating Post University 18-11. Sophomore Anthony Buscani led the Hawk offense with 5 goals and senior Dylan Ryan checked in with 3 goals. On March 20th, it was announced that Hawk men's lacrosse was ranked 19th in Division II by U.S. Lacrosse Magazine and 20th in D2 by the United States Intercollegiate Lacrosse Association. St. Anselm will host Northeast 10 Conference rival St. Rose on March 25th. Men's tennis hosted Assumption on March 18th and lost by a 5-4 final. The Hawks fared well in the doubles portion of the contest, winning 2 out of the 3 doubles matches. Junior Adam Weinstein and sophomore Daniel Kempts won their match 8-3. Junior Brian Cavanaugh and sophomore Brian Madden claimed an 8-2 victory in their match. Junior Kyle Harris swept both sets of his singles match 6-0, and Brian Madden won his singles match 6-3 and 7-5 respectively in both sets. Assumption went on to win the other 4 singles matches, narrowly defeating the Hawks 5-4. Men's tennis will return to the court on March 21st at St. Michael's and on March 25th when they host Adelphi. Baseball was scheduled to host Southern New Hampshire on March 21st and March 23rd. However, both games have been postponed until later in the season due to poor field conditions following last week's winter storm. The 5-7 Hawks are scheduled to return to the Diamond when they play on the road on March 25th with a doubleheader at the Delphi and on March 26th with another doubleheader at Pace. Hawk softball will also return to action this weekend with a 4-game road trip. They'll play their first Northeast 10 Conference games of the season with doubleheaders at New Haven on March 25th and at Southern Connecticut on March 26th. They currently have a 2-6 record following their 8-game road trip in Florida over spring break against non-conference opponents. Hawk Golf will also return to action this coming weekend to play in the Townsend Spring Invitational in Graysonville, Maryland on March 25th and 26th. They most recently split 2 head-to-head matchups against Capital University in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina over spring break. That's it for sports. Now back to Dan with politics.
I'm Dan Flatley for This Week in Politics. Today, before the House Intelligence Committee, FBI Director James B. Comey publicly confirmed an investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 presidential election and whether associates of the president were in contact with Moscow. Mr. Comey also said the FBI had no information to support President Trump's allegation that Barack Obama wiretapped him. Mr. Comey told lawmakers that the investigation began in July, but he conceded that he had only recently briefed congressional leaders on the existence of the FBI investigation. Asked why he had waited so long, he said, quote, because of the sensitivity of the matter, end quote. Much of the questioning focused on the Trump confidant, Roger J. Stone Jr., and his public bragging that he was in contact with the hacker Jucifer 2.0, believed to be a front for Russian intelligence officials. Mr. Comey would not confirm or deny the subject of the FBI's investigation, but Mr. Stone, never a shrinking violet, did speak up on Twitter. Well, that's it for This Week in Politics, And that's it. A big thank you to Crier Editor-in-Chief Cody Jones for the sports report. And thank you, viewers, for joining us for this week's update from SABS. Once again, we are St. Anselm Broadcasting Station, St. Anselm's first and only broadcasting station.